The discriminant. And if the discriminant is part of the quadratic formula. And so in front of me you can see the quadratic formula written out. And here we have the term b squared minus 4ac plays a central role in the solution. As a result, it is given a special symbol and a special name. It's called the discriminant. D equals b squared minus 4ac. So if you have a quadratic equation in standard form, and you take the values of b, a, and c and plug it in just to the discriminant, it allows you to analyze the number of solutions. So if you get a question that says, how many solutions does the following equation have, or how many x-intercepts does the following equation have, this is what you're going to do. Number of solutions. Now, you could use a quadratic formula and see what answer you get, but this is quite easier. If all I'm asking is how many solutions, you just have to multiply, square, and subtract. You don't have to do the entire formula out. So, there's three different options, all right? The first one, if the d value, or the discriminant value, is greater than 0, then it has two solutions. If it's equal to 0, then it has one solution. Why would that be? Coleman?
It would just be b plus or minus 0. So it would just be
Exactly. So imagine, if you will, that negative b plus or minus, this is where the discriminant goes, right? So if that has a value of 0, then you're not plussing or minusing anything. It's just negative b over 2a, which would be one solution. Great. Now if d is less than 0, the equation has no solution. Why is that? Kevin? Exactly. B squared, negative b plus or minus square root can't take a square root of a negative, so that gives you no solutions. You guys, if you get a discriminant that is less than 0, would the parabola cross the x-axis? No, right? It would be above or below, depending if it opens up or down. It would not cross the x-axis. Nice. So, number 1, 2, and 3, we're going to determine the number of solutions of each equation. To do that, we're going to use the discriminant. So we're going to say d equals b squared minus 4ac. We'll go ahead and plug it in. So value of b is negative 3, a is 1, and c is negative 4. Careful not to do too much of this in your head. It would be silly to make a silly mistake. Positive 9. 4 times 1 is 4, times negative 4 is negative 16. You add those and you get 25. So how many solutions is there? 2, because this is greater than 0. Therefore, 2 solutions. Now something I'm not going to ask you about is that, look at 25. What type of number is it? It's a perfect square, and in the formula we're going to be square rooting it. So this is just something extra. Would you think that our solutions are going to be rational or irrational? Rational, because when we take the square root, we're going to get a whole number. Good. Alright, this is in standard form already, so a is negative 1, b is 2, c is negative 1. Plug it into b squared minus 4ac. So 2 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times negative 1. 4 minus, and then negative 1 and negative 1 is positive, so this is just 4 minus 4, and we get 0. How many solutions? One solution. D equals 0, therefore one solution. Alright, last one. So b squared will be negative 2 squared minus 4 times 2 times 3. Alright? So we get positive 4 minus, oops. I want to do, so 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. We get a d value of negative 20. What does that mean? No solution. No real solution, that is. You just put no solution or this, that's sufficient. Any questions so far? Alright. Now what I'd like you to do is we're going to relate the discriminant to the graph. So in case 1, I want you to draw the graph of the function. So start off by finding the vertex. It's a good review because we will be graphing on our next test. So the opposite of b would be positive 2 over 2 times 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 2 over 1 is 2. Now plug that in to get y. 1/2 times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 6. 2 squared is 4. Half of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 minus 4 is negative 2 plus 6. Positive 4. So then the coordinate of our vertex is 2, 4. Go ahead and graph it. Let's see. Up 2 over 2 over 4. Is my graph going to open up or down? Up. Let's go ahead and get our negative, yeah, it opens up. So our 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. 3 times 1/2 is 1 1/2. 5 times 1/2 is 2 1/2. So I'm going to go over 1 up 1/2, over 1 up 1 1/2, over 1 up 2 1/2, and I think that's all that will fit. Wow. And then draw your axis of symmetry. And let's plot the mirror image, the reflection over the axis of symmetry. Using fancy words and everything. I think I kind of cheated on mine. Alright, now the next question's down here. What is a discriminant and how does it relate to the graph? So let's go ahead and find the discriminant. So b squared minus 4 times 1/2 times 6. Oh, why is it plus 6? Because I messed up. Just times 6. Eli, what do we get for the discriminant? It's okay. 4 minus, let's see, 12. So that's going to be negative 8. So Eli, what does that mean? No solution, which we already knew. It's less than 0. We already knew because our graph did not cross the x-axis. And when there's no x-intercepts, it means there's no real solution to this equation. Alright, so what I'd like you to do is to finish these, and then we can move on.